Today I am bringing you a video that is not sponsored, but will seem very sponsored, and that is all of the unread books that I currently have from Waypoint Books. I might be just a little bit biased in this, but Waypoint Books is my favorite indie bookshop, my favorite bookshop in general. You know, my bestie might own it and run it, but I do think the prices are good. And the selection is phenomenal. Like, I can just go on there and know that almost all those books are gonna be good books, you know? Like, it's just an experience. I have been neglecting those sub box picks. I was slumping really hard basically the entire last half of last year, if not longer than that. Last year was not my best reading year. Which is fine, it's whatever, but there's so many books I want to read now, and these are some of my top priority ones for this year. So I figured, why don't we talk about them? Because I don't want to talk about all the books on my TBR. I don't even have access to a bunch of them right now because they're like stuffed away somewhere because of rearranging the house and stuff. So we're going to talk about the Waypoint ones because I could get to those. Before we dive into that, I have this little book package right here, which is the Lunar Library book club pick for January. And let's just open it together and see what it is. It's a spooky middle grade. So let's just open it. The Ghost Locket by Allison Rushby. Ooh, look at it. Oh, it's tiny. It's not even 300 pages. I love it. It says it's a Christmas time ghost story. But Hannah did tell me that it doesn't actually seem like it's gonna be very Christmassy. So let's read the synopsis together, shall we? It's Christmas, and Lolly must return to the London historic house run by her family, a house that haunts her nightmares. Only Lolly can make things right for two ghosts, one friendly and one decidedly not. Can she face her fears and help the house find peace? A supernatural mystery haunted by secrets from the past. It doesn't sound Christmassy. It literally just sounds like it happens to take place over Christmas, but the actual story itself doesn't seem Christmassy, like, at all. And yeah, that's good, because I don't like thinking about Christmas. But I don't mind if it just like happens to take place over Christmas. And I am excited because I have been feeling the spooky middle grades this year, and this is certainly a spooky middle grade with ghosties called the Ghost Locket. I don't know where the locket comes in, but I'm sure it is relevant somehow. All right, now let's dive into the many books. We have Given by Nandi Taylor. This is a Black Dragon fantasy, and that's all I know about it. I believe this is a YA though, so it's not gonna get spicy. It's not gonna be a spicy times. I suppose it's possible that there could be a romance between them, but I kind of feel like there probably isn't, and that's okay with me. Not every book has to have a romance. Oh, this sounds good. I think it's a standalone. I don't know that there's any sequels to this. I think it's just a standalone, and I'm always down for a dragon fantasy. I have got Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows by Bali Kaur Jaswal. This was a Reese's book club pick, apparently. I don't know if that means anything. This is one that I know Hannah has been wanting me to read forever, and it's one that I'm majorly prioritizing this year because I want to kind of go out of my comfort zone this year. And this is that. This isn't something that I think I would normally see and pick up, or even after reading the description, think to pick up, but I am interested. A little one we have is Run Riot by Nikesh Shukla. This is a rather short little, I think, contemporary, maybe leans a little thrillery, that focuses on community and gentrification. It's been so long trying to think of that word. Gentrification, it seems like, is going to be a rather big part of this as well. And Hannah said it was good, and I tend to trust Hannah's opinion, and it's short, and I could always use more short books because I have a habit of collecting massive books. Next up, we have one that my puppy chewed on, so it's got these nice little teeth marks all on the bottom of it, but that is The Power by Naomi Alderman. This is one that I've been wanting to get to for a while, so I was really excited when it showed up in one of my boxes. This is basically about if women had all the power. Like, they have a magic power, basically, where they can inflict pain, and so they are now in charge of the world. And I'm pretty sure it gets all kinds of wild from there, and I've heard rather good things, but also a few mixed things, and you know. Next I have The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. This is technically a lamentable library pick from last year, but I did get it from Waypoint and I never got to reading it. Way to go me. I am really hyped for this one though. It's, I think, basically like an island where there's only women. All the men are gone, and so it's only women. And I like Kieran Millwood Hargrave's writing quite a bit, and yeah, good times, gothic-y times. Then we have a middle grade, which is The Tower at the End of Time, which is the sequel to The House at the Edge of Magic, which is one I really enjoyed. And since Hannah is all about getting me to actually continue series, she sent me this one, and I am excited to get to this one. I really liked The House at the Edge of the Magic. It was very whimsical, adventure-y, short. It was super quick read, and just a really fun time, which is what I expect this one will be as well. All right, the zoom or something may have changed as I had to just switch out the camera battery, but let's continue. We've got this cute little romance, The Dog Share. Two strangers, one dog. It's complicated. I think it's just two strangers who find a stray and decide basically to share custody over this dog, and then they fall in love. It sounds very cute, just like a palate cleanser type book. I will likely pick it up when I just need a break from some of the darker stuff that I tend to read. I have The Henna Wars by Adipa Jagadar. This I'm really excited to get to because I read Hani and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating, which was actually her second book. This one she wrote before that one, and this is another sapphic YA romance about two girls who both open like a henna business, and then they fall in love. And considering how much I really loved Hani and Issue, I can't imagine I won't love this one as well. I also have her newest book, which is 1,000,000:1, which is like very different from these ones. It's a historical kind of Titanic story, I believe. And so I am excited to read this one and then read that one. This was a really interesting one I got in my sub box, and that is The Stranger Times by C.K. McDonnell. This is basically about people who work at this newspaper that tells these stories of like weird paranormal going-ons and things, and whether the people at the newspaper really believe these things or not, and then strange things actually like do start to happen. I don't know, it's very intriguing and different from anything I've really heard of before. So this is one that I definitely need to get to this year for sure. There's also a sequel that I'm pretty sure is out already. So I don't think this is gonna be too serious. I think this is gonna be more kind of fun and just quirky, funny, good times. This one I received near the end of last year, and that is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I don't really know anything about this one. I think it's a sapphic. Is it sapphic? No, it's their friendship. I think it's about a female friendship that, like, one of them is a witch. It says it's a feminist story, and it's a little bit dark. It says a deliciously dark feminist tale of witches, bad ex-boyfriends, good coffee, and friendly spiders. Ooh, spiders! I feel like maybe that line is literally why Hannah sent this one to me, because I really like spiders. I don't know. I thought this was a romance, but looking at it now, I think it's not. But I'm excited for it nonetheless because it's dark and it's witchy, and I like witchy books. Then we have one that made me majorly question Hannah's decision-making skills, and that is The Stranger She Knew by Rosalind Stops. This looks like a super, like, look at this cover. How generic does this look? This looks like the world's most generic thriller. But apparently there was a reason behind this one, and apparently her mom really liked it, and she knew that I was trying to figure out whether I really liked thrillers all that much or not. So here it is. I don't have high hopes for this one, but to be fair, I basically have told Hannah explicitly, send me whatever, because I just like to have a variety of books and try different shit. So this is my own fault. But this is apparently about someone, like an old person who has a stroke, and she can't like say anything about something that happened. And then there's like this man, but like, does she actually know this man? But she can't say, I don't know. I'll give it a go, I just don't know. Then there's one that I'm really excited to get to this year, and that is My Eyes Are Up Here by Laura Zimmerman. This is a little bit contemporary, a little bit maybe literary even. Comedic, feminist. I mean, you can tell by the cover, the title, that this is going to be a feminist story. But this one, I mean, it's basically about being in high school and navigating being a woman, I think, and having big boobs and having to deal with that as a teenager, you know? Like, that's real shit right there. So I don't know, I'm excited to get to this. I actually think I'm gonna try to fit it on my February TBR. Next up, we have The Graves of Whitechapel by Claire Evans, which has a gorgeous cover and is obviously very gothic. And as we all know, I love gothic books quite a bit. So this one is basically about a lawyer who defended somebody against murder, and did he actually free a murderer? So yeah, I don't know. It's also Victorian era, and I really like Victorian Gothics. So I don't know, I feel like there's probably gonna be a little bit more to it than that, just because it is kind of atmospheric and Victorian and Gothic-y and stuff. I feel like there might be a little more to it than just that. I don't know, but I would have picked this myself just because this is a stunning freaking cover. Then we have another dragon one, because I tend to go on kind of binges with dragon books, and this one is A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent. by Marie Brennan. It's not actually a memoir. It is framed like a memoir about this woman who studies dragons. So kind of like, I think, the Darwin of dragons. And it's written to be like her memoir, which is very interesting. And I'm really interested to see kind of how this all plays out. I don't know. That one also apparently is part of a series, which I did not know, but apparently that one's part of a series. Then we have a middle grade that I'm super hyped for and don't know why I haven't gotten to it yet, and that is The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. I read The Castle of Tangled Magic. I'm so glad that that was written on the back of here because I would have forgot. I read that one by Sophie Anderson last year, the year before, I don't remember. And loved it, loved Sophie Anderson's writing, loved the magical whimsy, the kind of Studio Ghibli vibes. And this has more of the same, and it also carries a myth that I really like, which is the Baba Yaga. I just really like the Baba Yaga story and the myths surrounding Baba Yaga. So I'm hyped. Also, technically, this is a prequel to that one. And next up, yet another Gothic. We have Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. This one was really popular when it first came out, and I never got to it, as one does. This is basically about a house that I think is kind of like a school, and it's like really elite, and once you go there, you're not allowed to leave for the time that you're supposed to be there. And of course, there will probably be some sort of twist and spooky things. And I should really get to this. I kind of want to get to this, like, right now. Another spooky one we have is The Haunting of Las Lagrimas by W.M. Cleese. I think this is a little bit more of a standard, like, ghosty story. About... This is about a gardener who is to restore the gardens of this creepy house. And malevolent forces. Spookity, spookity, spookies. And a great cover. As happens with most of my videos, we are receiving a guest. Although I don't think you'll be able to see her because she'll be down in my lap, which is a little bit cut off from you right now. But if you hear baby noises, which you were probably hearing the whole video anyway, so. But if you hear more of them, there's a baby there. So this is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, and I meant to get to this so long ago. This is on my 12 books, 12 friends, which I just did a video for of books that my friends have recommended that I have to read this year. This is on there, so I have to get to this. Another more lighter one we have is A Faux Love Story by Lone Lee, which is a YA about these two teens whose families own rival faux restaurants, and then they have to like team up and then they fall in love. Then we have A Revenger by Alastair Reynolds, which is obviously a sci-fi that I don't know much about. It's like space pirates, it's a space opera-y adventure thing, and I'm pretty sure it's a series, so this is the first one. I won't get to this till later in the year because I have enough sci-fis I'm reading right now, and I don't like to read a ton of sci-fis all around the same time. But this one, I'm interested to see if I do like it or not. We've got just a couple more, and that is The Storm Crow by Kaylin Josephson. I don't know about this. I've heard it's kind of like very general YA fantasy about a crow rider. I like crows. Crows are my favorite bird. I think crows are really cool. But I have kind of not liked YA fantasy as much anymore, so I probably should have read this one when I actually got it, but I didn't. So now I need to read it this year. And finally, we have The Ladies of the Secret Circuits by Constance Sayers. This book is big. Just like, it's just big in general. Like the whole book is just, it's large. This one gave me some kind of Night Circus-y vibes. It's, you know, Ladies of a Circus, a secret circus, and I think what keeps putting me off of getting to it is it is a little on the bigger side, but I would really like to get to this one very soon. I I actually think it's going on my TBR for February because I have a prompt for Gerbitathon that is clowns. Circuses have clowns. All right, I'm sorry if the end was a little bit rushed there. This one, just being a little bit needy. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. If you've read any of those books or think I need to get to any of those books sooner than others, comment down below. I love talking to you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.